joining us for City Talk. I'm Emily Lofgren, and I'm here today with LauraLiegois. Laura, thank you for joining us.
Well, thanks, Emily, for inviting me on.
Yeah, so Laura, tell us about your position with the city and what you do.
Well, I am the solid waste manager for the city of Muscatine, and basically what that means is I oversee 3 different departments that all follow in waste management. One is the Muscatine County landfill that is operated by a contract for the city by the city of Muscatine for the entire county area. I also oversee the Muscatine Recycling Center and Transfer Station, which has a lot of programs that are utilized throughout the city and the county of Muscatine. And then the other project that I do, or department I should say, is the refuse collection department.
Okay, so how long have you been doing this role for the city?
I have been with the city of Muscatine close to about 8.5 years.
So what brought you to Muscatine? Can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Well, I have spent my first 10 years out of college working for the Clinton County Solid Waste Agency. And by doing that, I spent starting out doing public education, communication outreach. And from that, after about 4 years, I became their director of operations and education outreach. And I oversaw the Clinton County Solid Waste Agency for about 6 years. So a total of 10 years I spent in Clinton doing similar to this, not quite the same, but similar to my duties here. And Levine Payne, who is the former solid waste manager for the city of Muscatine, retired. And I applied for the position because this is my hometown. I wanted to come back to my hometown and bring my experiences that I had developed over the last 10 years back to Muscatine.
That's great. So what are some of the initiatives that you've had with your department over the years? Because I think things have changed quite a bit since you first began.
We have. We've made lots of changes. We've done a lot of different programming. Some of the programming we have done has been based upon the need in our community. It's always important for us to know what our residents want, what do we need to do in the community. One program we're really proud of is our curbside recycling program. That started in 2011, so we're coming into the 5th year of that program, finishing up to the 5th year. We're starting some discussions on renewal with Republic Services, who does our programming. So we're pretty excited about that in regards to that program. And just this last fiscal year, we recycled over 1,300 tons of recycling out of the curbside program.
So did that mean that the trash collection went down?
Yes.
As well.
And when we started this program, we used to budget 9,000 tons for household waste out of the city of Muscatine in our budget for refuse collection. With that, it went down, we estimated down about 1,500 tons to 1,200 tons, somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. And with that estimation, we have been able to reduce the amount of waste that the city of Muscatine alone is taking to the Muscatine County landfill, which is a good thing. Mm-hmm. And also, we have a 95% rate of curbside recycling in the city of Muscatine. That's a great rate.
That's fantastic.
We also have our community school district, Muscatine, involved in the recycling program, and of course all our city facilities.
Did you see recycling take off when the program started, or was it difficult to get people to come along?
I think what really pushed curbside recycling here in the city of Muscatine is we had numerous drop-off locations, and really our residents were not utilizing those drop-offs. And the amount of money we were spending in overtime, maintenance, taking care of the sites, also just beautification of the community. Drop-off sites become illegal dump-off sites. And keeping the community clean, not having items all over the place is very important to us. And we had a push. There was quite a push actually in this community to see a curbside recycling program. And so that was good. And with that public input, it helped us certainly move forward with curbside recycling programming. And we come to realize, though, the amount of people that were not recycling based upon the numbers of what we had for 11 drop-off sites versus the curbside program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just makes it so much easier to be able to put it out.
It does. And I know a lot of people didn't understand why we didn't do it years ago. And I think things happen for a reason, and this is probably a really good reason for Muscatine. Yes, we contract this out with a third party, Republic Services, and it has worked out really well for us for the most part with contracting out that portion of our service. And with that, if we would have invested in recycling trucks that were all these different dividing out bins, containers, we'd have small containers, we'd have a person sorting each item out at the curb. That is just old technology. And we would have had a lot of capital investment. So now we didn't have that capital investment. We are able to have the state-of-the-art technology for our residents, which has been a really great program and making it as easy as possible.
Yeah, that's great. So let's talk a little bit about the refuge collection and the new
Yes.
garbage cans. 'Cause
Yes.
I think that's a hot topic here.
It is a hot topic. You know, we went from the recycling program, which was a very hot topic when that started, to now we're into automating garbage services. And automated collection brings us basically from having our staff go out and dump the trash to an automated arm, which is something that you see already with the Muscatine recycling program with Republic Services. I do want our residents to understand the truck that we will be purchasing that should be here definitely early mid-November here this year is not as large as the recycling truck because we don't need to have that big of a truck. That's a more industrial size. And it will be the gold color that we have on many of our trucks. The automated arm is designed to reach out, grab the container, lift it up, dump it in while the driver stays in the vehicle. Because there is so many safety issues. Being in the garbage collection, the waste management business, operators, landfill operators, transfer station operators, including our garbage collection guys or ladies, you never know. You could,
Yeah.
you know, our staff, it is one of the top 10 riskiest jobs in the U.S.
Wow.
And so we really want to keep them safe. And I know we've had so many close calls with vehicles coming nearby, too close. We're out in the line of traffic. The automated collection program keeps our staff safe, which is our first priority of safety. They're not out in the way of traffic. Also, it is a huge safety improvement from lifting heavy cans.
Yes.
The standard 65-gallon container, I believe, can hold up to 300 pounds.
That's incredible. That is huge.
So I don't want anybody going out and putting 300 pounds of something in it just for us to see if it does,
Yeah.
but it can hold up to 300, and that's the 65-gallon container.
And now the 65-gallon container, that's standard.
That's
right?
a standard container, and we have now implemented close to 4,500 cans in the city of Muscatine over the last couple years. We just did a large drop-off. We are doing them by our internal routes. And so people can understand their days are not going to be changed at all. We are changing our inside process with this new program. And so this is implemented in 3 different phases. So not to go off of your question,
this is great.
the
We can
standard
talk
size, but I'll finish the standard size. But 65 gallons is standard. We have an option of a 35-gallon, and we also have an option of a 95-gallon, which is for those families that just really cannot make the 65-gallon work.
Bigger families that just have a lot.
Just cannot. We are making sure that we're encouraging recycling. This program is going to encourage recycling because we will not pick up trash unless it's in the can. So it has to fit in the city can. And I do have a list from our last group that we just delivered that need 35 gallons. We didn't have enough 35. We had some 95 requests. So we ordered a small shipment to get us through with some change outs here as soon as we get them in the next few weeks. And we will get those handled for our residents that are on the current list.
So what's the process? If they've gotten a 65-gallon can delivered, how do they get one of the other size changes?
Well, if you've already had it delivered, and most people have already contacted us because we did give a cutoff on this current one. We did give a cutoff back at the end of September. But if someone did not get on the list, they certainly can call us at our office, the 263-9689. They could also go on our website. The best thing to do is email. Right now, our form for the routes has been taken off at the moment because we want to get finished with this route delivery at the moment. And then it will be back up for the other when we do our spring delivery.
So far it's been phase 1 that's been delivered.
Yes.
And then the next couple phases, can you explain when those will happen?
Well, the next 2 phases, we have our phase 2 area, which is a area of, and I think we have that map. Do we have that map?
We have the map. Let's
We
see
do
if
have
we
that
can bring
map.
that up.
Let's see. We have the spring of 2016, so residents that are home watching, if you can see the map and kind of get an idea. You can also go on the Muscatine website under refuse collection, and I believe the link is about the new automated program. You can see this map there too, so you can be a little bit more up close with it and see your area. Those will be delivered in the spring. I look for those probably delivered in May.
Okay.
April is a very busy month in our department. We do spring cleanup week. We have a lot of Earth Day events, so we'll probably do those in May.
Yeah, so if you're in this area,
Yes.
expect it around
Sometime
that
in
time.
May. We will get that announcement out, obviously at least 30 days before we deliver. So please watch for, the local media. Also, again, our website's updated regularly of information, and also Facebook.
Yes.
And so that way we can get you the information out. Again, you can always call us too and ask, when's that going to happen? And then we will open the form back up during our month time to make sure people know, get an idea of when, if they wanted to get a different size container.
So is it best for them to ask for a different size container before it's delivered?
It is a lot easier on everybody
Okay.
because then we send out X amount of containers of each size to those areas when we go to deliver. We have internally been doing the delivery with our own staff because they do know the locations and the areas. And so when they come to your door, it's been our own staff. So we're happy that we've been able to try to make that work out instead of sending a third party in to do it. And then our other phase that we're going to do, which will be in the fall of 2016, which is our other map. This is other areas that were not listed before. This also includes the city of Fruitland, which we contract with the city of Fruitland to handle their services also. And that will conclude all of our main residential areas. And we also have some commercial areas that we've added containers to. I will say some people have asked me about the containers and, what are they made out of? This is the most high durable amount of plastic, or I should say heavy density plastic that's on the market right now for containers.
So they're going to hold up well.
They are. The going average rate for one of those containers of cost per container for a 65-gallon is $45 to $50. So these are not the cheap $20 can that you buy at a discount store. So these are made by a very long-running company, and they also have a warranty. So if you have something happen to you, the can, certainly let us know, because we will we'll get a replacement over, and then we also will turn it into the company.
Great. So Laura, do you have anything else that you'd like to share about the next phases of the?
Well, the next phasing of this program, and we've had some changes in our timeline. By now, we should have been moving forward to putting in the second phase instead of just getting done with the first phase. But we had some changes in timeline. So what we do ask is, once we announce when we will be delivering, for our residents to, if you have an interest in a smaller or larger container, let us know. And we certainly want to make sure we can, get everybody everything they need as soon as possible when we deliver.
And you're always welcome, to calls and people requesting a different size.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I have our phone. Basically, most of the time you're going to get Ariana. She answers the front office phone, or you'll get myself or one of our other staff members, and we'll try to answer any questions you have.
All right. Now, Laura, is there anything else you'd like to add today, or to tell everyone about your department?
About our department. Well, we do have holidays coming around the corner. And I know it seems like not really holiday time yet, but as soon as we get through the month of October, we start planning our holiday hours and our planning and promoting of making sure people understand about, recycling at the holiday time. And so those are things that, we do want people to take some notice to. We may adventure into trying maybe some new things for recycling at the holiday time. We might try, accepting some Christmas lights at a drop-off location at our office, the old strands that don't work anymore, things like that. We also want to make sure we encourage people to think wisely in consumerism at the holiday time, because if it's always, as I always explain to people, when you're shopping, and if you can buy a gift that's made in a better product, it's going to last longer, and it doesn't end up coming to see me sooner. So,
absolutely.
yes.
Yeah. So you just want to encourage people to be wise about their decisions.
Wise about their decisions. Also, think outside the box in gift giving, which means less waste.
Yeah.
And there's numerous resources out there for that information that you can find online. I think we might even still have some on our website under waste management.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Laura. We really appreciate it.
Well, thanks, Emily, for inviting me.
That's it for this week's edition of City Talk, and now it's time for the MCC Connection.